Your self-worth, how you feel about yourself, has been based on this plan and fulfilling this plan as time goes on. When you can't do that, suddenly your confidence plummets. One of the tougher realities to accept about our lives is that we have setbacks. Whether you're injured right now or dealing with a nagging pain that hasn't gone away in weeks, or you're simply burnt out from your own responsibilities having to show up with 100% every single day, I see you, I feel you, I have been there. I want to give you guys my 4 best tips today on how to get through this time period knowing it's not going to last forever, how to keep yourself physically fit and mentally clear-minded, making it through to the other side. To keep things simple and straightforward in this video, guys, I'll be speaking mainly to those of you who are injured or dealing with chronic pain, but all of these tips can be applied to your mental exhaustion, being completely burnt out, having any sort of setback, be it fitness related or not. If you're someone who religiously runs 4 times a week, you have never missed a week in 2 years, you show up for your run group, you know your plan, you're checking off each day, you don't miss, and you suddenly roll your ankle and you're gonna be out of commission for 6 weeks, your world flips upside down. And here's why. You believe in yourself, you've built confidence in yourself based on your ability to show up. Your self-worth, how you feel about yourself, has been based on this plan and fulfilling this plan as time goes on. When you can't do that exact plan, suddenly your confidence plummets. And this is because we are trying to maintain the reality of what was before, even though things are different. We aren't shifting how we're going to approach it. So my first tip for you guys is we have to rebrand what we're doing and how we're doing it. So here's a real example for you guys. A few years ago, I strained my low back horribly. I was at work late at night. I wasn't paying attention to my form. My core wasn't engaged. I didn't use my legs to lift a table up, and I absolutely yanked my low back. I will never forget that pain. I could barely hobble to get in a cab to go home. I was basically in bed for 3 days until I could finally get up and sort of move around. Prior to hurting my back, I was the most active person you've seen. In the gym 5 days a week, I was running, I was still dancing professionally, I was constantly sore, constantly sweating. I was very, very focused on my training plan. Then I hurt my back. I had 2 options. I could lay in bed, probably letting my mental health completely disintegrate, and wait it out until eventually I could start back where I was before, or I could adapt and create some sort of plan to stick to in the meantime. That would involve workouts or movements that I was able to do that would help rehab my injury, but maybe didn't look like my old workouts before. In fact, they definitely didn't. I chose the second one because I believe in being able to move forward no matter what it looks like. So what I want you guys to do is keep your exact same schedule from how the training plan was before you got hurt or dealing with this pain, but replace what's in it. So before, maybe my hard workout would have been a 10-mile run. My medium workout would have been a really tough hour-long Pilates class, and maybe my easy would be a 3-mile light jog mixed with some stretching. Once I got hurt, I realized that my hard workout was probably going to be a 2-mile easy jog. I was able to deal with a little bit of bouncing up and down, but I really couldn't be upright too long. My medium would probably be 20 minutes of core work, slow and controlled on my own, not in a class that was fast-paced. My easy was simple stretches, releasing my psoas, stretching out the areas that probably were so tight and made the injury worse in my low back. But those things were all still there. There were things I could do and focus on, and what I would do is just sprinkle those in on the days I would do hard, medium, easy, double up some days if I could, or if I was able to once I was feeling a little bit better. But either way, I was still moving forward and on track. I still had purpose and a reason to keep going. When we don't have that framework, we completely ditch our training plan and wait out the injury or wait out the pain that we're going through. We lose all sort of direction. All of a sudden, our self-worth really plummets and we don't show up for ourselves anymore, which makes getting back to it after the fact so much worse, so much harder. So don't focus so much on what you're not doing anymore and the fact that you can only do a fraction of what you did before. You can do something always. Even if that thing is just 10 minutes of stretching, maybe just a mental exercise to help get you in a more positive headspace. Tip number 2 is to keep your eyes on your own paper. Remember that you're in control of your context. This injury, this setback, whatever you're going through is being looked at through a lens that you create. If you are constantly still on Strava and in that Facebook group with all your running friends, looking at what they're doing, constantly comparing, you can't even walk a mile today, they're out running 5 miles. If you stay focused on what you're doing, you're gonna keep a bright perspective knowing that each day you're inching forward. If you keep looking at other people, you're gonna always find a way to make your work and your progress feel smaller or less worthy than what it actually is. Tip number 3 sort of builds off of tip number 2, and that is to remember that everybody has their time. The best athletes in the world, the people that look the happiest online and post the most picturesque photos all the time, they too have their setbacks. So have some perspective when you're at your lowest of lows. The guy who posts, oh, I just did 10 miles in the mountains, sun's shining, happy Saturday. Remember, he might have rehabbed an injury for 6 months last year, or next month he may be going through one of the worst losses or grief periods of his life. We truly don't know what everybody else is going through, so I encourage you guys once again, take control of the context of your situation, reframe your mind. Don't let yourself get so dragged down by thinking your world's ending and everybody else's is so much more perfect. It's just not the case, and you are in control of how positive you feel as you move through this setback. Everyone goes through it, it's just not at the same time, and I know that misery loves company, but we have to have some perspective on our own terms, and we can take control over that. So guys, my 4th and final tip for you today is to use this time to do a really big full scan of your life. I want you to pick out all the moments, all the things, all the people, the memories that make you happy and really focus on those. We take so much for granted when things are monotonous and busy and going and going and going. We never really take the time to appreciate, and we kind of just assume everything's gonna stay that way until it doesn't. If you've ever been through any big life changes or loss, grief, I bring that up sometimes because I've been going through that recently, you suddenly realize how good you had it. So whether you guys are in sort of a mental exhaustion, burnout, injury, or something else personal, I want you guys to use the time while you're down and out to appreciate the good things going on. Do you have a beautiful family you get to go home to? Maybe you're burnt out at work, but you get to go home to them. Maybe you got injured, you can't even stand on your right leg, but you get to sleep extra at night now because you don't have to get up for that run. So I encourage you guys to use this time right now to work on your mind the way that you train any other muscle. Give yourself some strength, some practice in working through tough stuff, because inevitably in the future when you have another setback or another low, it's gonna test you. Can you prevail and push forward? Can you come out the other side a different, stronger person, or will you give up? This is the time right now to build up those practices, teach yourself how you're going to get through it. I know that you guys will. I'm so proud of you for even wanting to get better, for wanting to get through this in a healthy way. And I can't wait to see you guys in another video. Thank you so much for watching my channel, for all the support so far. I will see you guys another day. Have a good one.